Welcome to this week's Mountain to Lake Realty Showcase. I'm Bob Parcell.
And I'm Steve Furrow.
Here we are, Steve, on the first day of spring.
Woohoo!
So Steve has a good topic for us to discuss briefly starting the show, which is the spring housing market. Please visit our company website you see on your screen of mountaintolake.com.
You bet, and we'd love for you to stop by the office there at 195 South Main Street. If you're interested in buying or selling property, certainly reach out to us. Stop by the office and we'll be glad to talk with you about those things. So Bob, it is the first, well, I guess technically Monday was the first day of spring.
In the 20s?
Yeah, it was chilly yesterday morning. But that being said, spring, we talk about the spring housing market. Right? So we jumped right into that, right?
Spring forward, I guess.
There you go. So spring housing market, let's thinking about, I'm going to sell my home. What we're going to do to get ready for this spring housing market, if I'm a seller and I want to spring forward, get my best foot forward here in this spring market. What you got?
I'd call the number on the screen, ask to speak to one of our agents.
Number one, call the number on the screen.
I would.
Okay. What's number two?
Well, every property is unique. We'll be more than happy to come to your house. We do this frequently, and for example, I visited someone recently. They were getting ready to list their home. It was in real good shape, and someone had passed away, and the executive of the estate found out that the home was on a shared spring, and the spring wasn't on the property, and it wasn't deeded where you could maintain the line, so they're digging a well. So the point of that is, we'll be glad to come to your house and talk about what might be unique aspects of your particular property, and what you don't want to do as a seller is not be in a position to sell it, so in that particular case they're going to dig a well. But I guess generally, Steve, it's amazing how much better a yard looks with mulch. You know, in landscaping you have one chance to make a first impression. I mean, while the market has extremely low inventory, and we work with you to list your home and put it on Cable 12, I think that is a huge step towards selling it, because again, it's such a low inventory. But it is amazing. You want your property to stand out. You had a good point, Steve, about decluttering, and that one chance to make a first impression, I think, is critical. But I think it'd be real important to let us come to your property, and we're certainly glad to give you an opinion of what might be the best things to do for your particular property.
Yeah, I mean, we all think about, I think about spring. First thing I think about spring is the daffodils coming up, you know. And
I thought you were going to say you look for your pink shirt in the closet.
Bob, you really are upset about me wearing this pink shirt.
Well, I
today,
like it. I think it looks good.
It's the first day of spring. Come on. Gosh. Anyway, from my perspective, you think about, there's people associate things with the first day of spring. I think about daffodils and flowers. I also think you mentioned mulch, doing those kind of things, getting your house ready. You step inside, you think about things like light bulbs, and maybe there's windows that need to be cleaned, and just again trying to give that sort of wow factor. You want to give those folks that are there looking, prospective buyers, you want to give them the feeling that you care about your home, that it's been cared for.
That's a good point. I mean, people may think having light bulbs is, actually it's a really good point. You go to someone's house, there's a walk-in closet, you can't see in it. So that's a good point.
Yeah. So we don't need to weigh you down with lots of details, but Bob's right. Reach out to us at Mountain to Lake Realty. We'll be glad to come out and sit down with you, talk about the spring market, what's going on in the market, maybe it's you've been thinking about redoing a deck. Well, we sit down and have a conversation about, does that need to happen or not, and what's the costs versus what's the benefits of it. True. And how that might play out here. Maybe it makes sense for you not to do that. Maybe it does. I don't know. It's going to get down to the specifics of your situation. But I will tell you, if you're a seller in this market, if you're thinking about selling your home, there is not a better time. There's low inventory. We've got buyers interested in buying properties. So I would encourage you, give us a call at mountaintolake.realty.com or Mountain to Lake Realty, and we'll be glad to try to sit down with you and have a conversation about putting your house on the market.
Sounds good.
Let's talk about some properties, Bob. We're going to jump in here now to the first one. This is a condo on the lake in Fairway Bay. You got, from a bedroom standpoint, you've got 2 fully furnished bedrooms, 3 bedroom or bathrooms here, 3.5 actually. But this is Waterside Drive in Moneta. As I mentioned there before, it's in the Fairway Bay subdivision. That's a great location there. You do have your own deeded boat slip. There's actually, we talk about some of the amenities there at Fairway, but you actually do have a little a private sort of gathering area that would you'd have access to, along with your own beach there in front of that area. So there's a lot of things to talk about here on Waterside. So we're going to step inside. We'll get a chance to see the living room area. This home shows extremely well. It has been looked after. There's been several updates done. Coming around here, here's the dining area. You have a kitchen as well as an eat-in island bar there. Granite countertops. This is the office just as you come in from the garage. This is the upstairs. Really nice master suite here. You see you've got the large bedroom. You've got the deck, walkout deck there connected. And of course the bathroom on the other side. But recently updated tile showers, both here in the master as well as the one there upstairs as well. We'll show you some pictures. But here's the second bedroom, be upstairs, but plenty of room. Here's that second full bathroom that I talked about. This is upstairs, and nice skylights there, Bob, to a little natural lighting to come in. That always helps out when we think about taking pictures and showcasing a home. Here we are. We come downstairs to the lower level. Of course, got a walkout there to the deck. And then this is the third full bathroom. This would be on the lower level of this home. That again, very nice setting there. You come outside, you get a chance to see the walkout basement. You've got a deck on the entry or middle level there, as well as a deck on the upper level overlooking a lake view. But nice spot to come and hang out and enjoy this spring and summer weather. But, move it around. I mentioned there we do have a deeded boat slip. You'll see there, there the dock that's associated with the property. Just a short little walk from the rear back deck down to your dock and deeded boat slip. This was that area I was talking about before. You can reserve as a part of the POA dues. You can reserve this building there and have grills with the family. You can have, I don't know, Bob, the parcel reunion could happen right here. If you were to be the owner of that, the kids could play on the beach and get some grill out, maybe put a piece of fish on, have a big time. But this was Waterside Drive with a Moneta address in Fairway Bay.
You've been by there, Steve? I think that's about channel marker R26. That's a good location of the lake and real nice unit. A friend of mine his parents had a very similar unit. It was very nice. So we'll travel from Smith Mountain Lake to the city of Roanoke for this 3-bedroom brick ranch. It's on Valley View. That's going to be off of Williamson Road. Again, this is a 3-bedroom, 1 full bath, 1 half bath home. Has a heat pump to heat and cool it. Has 907 square feet on the entry level. There's 200 square feet in the lower level that's finished, giving the total square footage a little over 1,100. Does have a full walkout basement. So you're looking for a home in Roanoke City, consider this home on Valley View Avenue. That's going to be, again, off of Williamson Road and 10th Street. Next, we'll come back to Rocky Mount for a 6-acre tract of land on Miriam Hill Drive. was listed last Friday. We got a contract over the weekend. It's a 6-acre tract. I believe originally Miriam Hill Drive was a private road, and in this county, you need at least 5 acres for a private road. Of course, now Miriam Hill is a state-maintained road, but that's why you have such a large tract of land so close to Rocky Mount. So if you were to come to our office and say, I want to buy 6 acres in Rocky Mount or a mile or two outside of Rocky Mount, wouldn't be many choices. Some extremely nice homes on Miriam Hill Drive, just off of South Main Street. This is mostly wooded, lays very well, be great for a walkout basement, backs up to a branch on the backside. And I believe that if you built a nice home here, your investment would be protected by the very nice homes that are around it. You have an opportunity for an extremely private building site, yet very convenient to Rocky Mount, just maybe 2 miles from the hospital. So we'll be glad to hopefully this will close as scheduled, but again, 6 acres on Miriam Hill Drive.
So we're going to bring you some land listings here, talking about just some different aspects as we talk about the uniqueness of the county. We talk about Mountain to Lake Realty, our ability to represent buyers and sellers in all amongst different things. We're going to talk a little bit here about land. We showed you some residential properties, and then we've got some commercial properties coming up as well. But here's a waterfront lot that's in Ridgewood Shores, sits on 0.57 acres, 236 feet of frontage on Smith Mountain Lake, deep water. It has already perked, so we just need to talk about getting a permit. There are restrictions and covenants here with Ridgewood Shores we need to have a conversation about. Be sure and share that with you. But to be glad to show you this property. If you're not familiar with where Point Drive is, take 122 from Smith Mountain Lake, 122 south, right on Hardy, and right on Hartwell, and right on Point Drive. The property is on the left there. All right. We're going to come back here. This is back towards Rocky Mount. We're coming back, well, we're not too far from Rocky Mount. This will be between Burnt Chimney and Wirtz Road, I would say. This is Woods Edge. It's 0.98 acres. This is a nice, very nice subdivision if you've never been in the Woods Edge. It's a very nice location. You're not far from 220. You sit kind of not far from Smith Mountain Lake. There is a well on this property. Purchaser would be responsible for the septic here on this property, but be glad to show this one to you. This is Woods Edge Drive in Rocky Mount.
Next we'll travel to Brooksville Road for this 3.63 acre parcel. Not far at all from Cable 12, has a Glade Hill address. Convenient to Westlake, Smith Mountain Lake, of course Rocky Mount. Has frontage on Brooks Mill Road, but the access is from Powell Store Road. So you're kind of in the Glade Hill Redwood area of our county. Some mostly wood, has a stream on the property. So 3.63 acres, very convenient to Rocky Mount and the lake. Again, Brooks Mill Road has a Glade Hill address and has frontage on Brooks Mill Road as well.
All right, we're going to talk, shift gears now and come back to some residential property. This is Ormac Lane, 6.43 acres, 5 bedrooms, 4 full baths. As we've talked about before, Bob mentioned trying to find 6 acres close to Rocky Mount, maybe build a house on. The list would be short. Try to find a 6-acre property or even a 5-acre property or more with 5 bedrooms. Whew. That's even a taller task. But that's what we've got here on Ormac Lane. 5 bedrooms, 4 full baths. You see that attached 2-car garage. We'll show you a detached workshop garage area as well. But we're going to step up here to up on the front porch. We've got a nice slated front porch, perfect for a rocking chair. We come inside. You see a shot of the first of 3 fireplaces. This is a shot of the living room there. Coming around to the dining room area, tons and tons of storage. You've got lots of cabinets, lots of workspace here to get prepared for that meal or that event that you might be taking place. Here's a family room with the fireplace. We're coming around to the master bedroom on the entry level. This is bedroom number 2. I mentioned 5 full bedrooms. Here's the bathroom on the entry level. Another bedroom. There is a sunroom that does encompass the whole side or back side of the home itself. Here's a couple shots of some bedrooms upstairs. We'll head back downstairs. We get a chance to see the third and final fireplace here that's downstairs. Lots and lots of storage, lots and lots of space. We got 6,100 total square feet here in this home on Ormac Lane. It's just tons of possibilities. All these shots here I'm sharing with you are on the lower level. You got your washer and dryer down there. Step outside on the 6.43 acres. You get a chance to see that sunroom I mentioned there. But from a location standpoint, you're sitting conveniently between Rocky Mountain and Boone's Mill, close to the intersection of 220 and Wirtz Road is where Ormac Lane would be. Here is that detached shop area that I talked about. It does have a concrete floor. We have another additional detached storage shed, but 6.43 acres here on Ormac Lane in Rocky Mount.
So we'll travel to the town limits of Rocky Mount. This home on Claiborne Avenue that backs up to Mary Elizabeth Park. So you're right in the middle of Rocky Mount. And of course, Mary Elizabeth Park's been there quite a while. And recently the town put in a very nice children's playground, a couple of tennis courts, pickleball courts, nice little picnic shelter. It's a brick home, 4-square home. Has 1,200 square feet on the entry level, 1,155 on the upper level. You see that steps to the right, and then the lower level has 578 square feet, which is an apartment. This is zoned R2, so you have a lot of investment potential here to be used as a rental. You may be able to change the zoning to R3 if you wanted 3 units, but currently it's zoned R2. So notice the nice wood floors as you come in. So living room, dining room, built-in china cabinet, good sized kitchen, nice little area off the back. There's access as well off like a screened porch area, a set of steps down to the back. As I mentioned, upstairs there's 1,155 square feet. Good sized rooms, updated bath. Entry level has a half bath, upper level has, I believe, 3 bedrooms and a full bath. Again, it's been updated. There's a good view of those steps I mentioned to the entry level. There's also an apartment in the lower level. So if you're looking for an investment opportunity right in the middle of Rocky Mount, great potential here. Again, this is zoned R2. Altogether, it's 4 bedrooms, 2 full baths, and a half bath. Total square footage finished is 2,930. There's also about roughly 575 square feet that's unfinished, where there's a air handler and storage. So we'll be glad to give you more details for this home on Claiborne Avenue. Of course, that's going to be off of North Main.
So we're going to stay in Rocky Mount. This is a property on Hilltop Drive. Sits on 0.45 acres, 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths. A nice brick ranch home here. You see, one of the nice things about Hilltop Drive, convenient there in the Franklin Heights subdivision, is you are kind of right in the middle of it all. I mean, within a minute, you can be on 220 headed north or south, Roanoke or Martinsville, or another minute or two, you can be in the Walmart parking lot or Kroger. You just there's a lot to be said about this location here with this particular property on Hilltop Drive. So we're going to step in and take a shot at what you see the living room area. We'll move along to the dining area, and kitchen. So we're moving in. This is 3 bedrooms and 2 full baths, a little over 2,600 total square feet. The shot here of the master bedroom, bedroom number 2, and bathroom number 2, bedroom number 3. We step downstairs, and Bob, I think I've talked about this before, but it is just, you step downstairs in a basement like this, and it makes, you got to feel like that home was looked after, you know?
Well, it kind of goes to your point at the beginning of the show about how your home appears when people walk through it, get an idea that it's well maintained and taken care of. So that's very true. I've been in this house. It shows very well, and stuff like this doesn't happen 2 days before you list it. They've maintained the house for a long time.
That's right. That's right. So And of course, there you step out to 0.45 acres, but a nice lot here with this.
Nice little sunroom there also, Steve, isn't it?
Yes, sir. It is a very nice sunroom on the back there. But this is Hilltop Drive in Rocky Mount.
Next, we go to the other side of Rocky Mount for this home on Falcon Ridge. You're kind of a little bit west of Rocky Mount, off of Rakes Road and Davis Mill, not far at all from Rocky Mount. This home, in my opinion, shows very well. Really nice decking and covered front porch. Has 1,008 square feet on the entry level. There's a good view of that nice covered front porch. As it gets warmer days, it's going to be nice to have that little covered porch. Again, the entry level of this home has 1,008 square feet, wood-sided home. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. Nice cedar siding. A lot of updates. Plumbing and electrical. HVAC was installed in 2021. Complete renovation of the kitchen with quartz countertops we just showed you. Entry-level bathrooms have cultured marble countertops. Gutters were put on in 2021, leaf guards as well, roof in 17, well pump in 2021. So this owner, in my opinion, did a real good job. They met with agents at our office and identified a lot of the things they have done to the home. It was built in 1987, but they pointed out all the things that have been done to it since then. Also has a nice yard. Again, Falcon Ridge Road has a Rocky Mount address, and it's off of Rakes Road in Davis Mill.
All right, we're going to come back to Rocky Mount, just outside, I guess you'd say just a little north of town is this property. It actually features 2 homes on this 1.5 acres. This is Grassy Hill Road, 4 bedrooms and 2 full baths, a little over 2,400, almost 2,500 square feet in this brick ranch home that you see here in front. We'll talk about the second home in a minute, but this is what I'm going to refer to as the primary residence on the property, which is 4 bedrooms, 2 full baths. It does have an attached single carport that you see there to the right. We're going to step inside, get a chance to see the kitchen, the areas there, the dining area. Here's a shot of the living room, a nice masonry fireplace. It's one of the bedrooms. This is 4 bedrooms and 2 full baths. As we move here, come around, there is a walkout basement here, part of this property. It's always a nice feature. Again, it sits on 1.5 acres. We're going to come around to the second home. This is a 2-bedroom and 1 bath, a little over 728 square feet as far as living space goes. You step inside, get a chance to see the living room, kitchen, the bedrooms. This is a nice, very nice updated tile shower and updated bathroom here in this home. It does have an additional 2-car detached garage, which is always a nice feature when you're thinking about a property. So on this particular property on Grassy Hill Road, we get a chance to see not 1, but 2 residences, as well as a detached 2-car garage as well, workshop. So a great spot here on Grassy Hill Road, and that has a Rocky Mount address. So we're gonna, Bob, I think up to this point we've been pretty much in Franklin County, and now we are headed to Bedford. This is Leesville Road in Lynch Station, a unique commercial listing we'll talk about. This was a church campus, campground, a lot of things to talk about here, and I'm not going to spend lots and lots of time, Bob, but we'll just try to run through quickly. This is a shot of the tabernacle, 64 by 120. You get a chance to see inside and what some of the possibilities might exist there. Very unique property, something, well, need to be discussed. If you're looking for something like this, the only way I can tell you, describe it to you, is we need to go take a look at it if this is something you think you're interested in. Here we've got a 60 by 74 cantina, mess hall, lunchroom, whatever you want to call it. This is a shot of the outside of the rec building. This building itself is 50 by 100. And inside it's got a couple of basketball goals. You've got plenty of room here to kind of, well, do lots of things in a building like this, 50 by 100, all metal building. We're coming around, give you a couple more shots of the property. As I mentioned, there's a lot of things to kind of take in and talk about here. Got a couple of cabins. There's a girls' dorm cabin, there's a boys' dorm cabin, and a staff cabin with offices. So lots and lots of things to consider here. This is a shot of the outside of that mess hall, cantina area we talked about earlier. It does have a really nice amphitheater. Great place to put on skits or maybe a concert. I see this, Bob, and I think about, the Scouts and watching them put on a skit, doing some things along those lines. Here's another shot of the property. There is a baseball diamond out on that end, as well as some soccer fields. This would be Leesville Road, and it would be in Lynch Station, which would be in Bedford County. 14 acres. Love to have a conversation with you about this unique property.
Next, we'll come back to a couple commercial properties within the town limits of Rocky Mount. Very nice building here, built in 1999, brick building, 2,802 square feet. It's finished, 16 parking spaces on the corner of North Main and Circle Drive. Extremely great condition for this this building. Both heat pumps have been replaced. There's some of the 16 parking spots, great frontage, a lot of high traffic count on North Main, zoned GB. It previously was used as a probation office, and they've expanded and moved to the former Moose Lodge on Grassy Hill. That's why this building is now available. And the way it's set up is it has 12 offices, all on the outside four walls, all with a window. It's also a conference room, reception area, waiting area, 4 half baths. All of that could be easily renovated if that layout didn't suit you. But it's an excellent building, and I think a couple of things that set it apart from some other commercial buildings are the age of the building, only built in 1999. A lot of the buildings we've worked with were built 50s, 60s, and ample parking. So we'll be glad to give you more details and show you this property on Circle Drive. Again, that's at off the intersection of Circle Drive and North Main.
All right, we're going to head to Old Franklin Turnpike, and time's kind of beginning to run down, but we're going to give you this one and maybe one more real quickly. This 1.5 acres. This is a unique commercial listing in the fact that not only are you buying the property, but you have the option of buying the business as well. This is Smith's Auto Sales, so things like inventory, those kind of discussions will be a part of this particular offering we have here. Great location on Old Franklin Turnpike. It would be on 40 East, headed out of town. You're roughly 3.5 miles out of town, but high traffic count. And when you see these buildings, everything's been updated and renovated. You've got new wiring, new metal roofs, furnace and AC, water heater, windows. It's been insulated. You got a nice office area. You've got a full bath here in this building. Lots of things to talk about here. We'll certainly sit down and talk about it with you on Old Franklin Turnpike.
So we have time for this. Well, maybe we're out of time for this week. No, maybe we got a little time. On the corner of Franklin Street and Diamond Avenue is where you'll find the former Arrington Flowers building, zoned CBD. And as you come down from the west side of Rocky Mount, it almost looks like a billboard. Be a great place for your signage. Has plenty of parking spots, 20 parking spaces at least. Well over 3,527 square feet that's finished, all on one level. Has 2 walk-in coolers, one of which could easily be removed if you didn't need 2 walk-in coolers. But it really has a great presence and a great location, a lot of high traffic count there as well, lots of parking. 190 Franklin Street. So I think that wraps up everything for this week's show, Steve, and thanks everyone for watching Mountain to Lake Realty Showcase.
Take care.